I am a Palestinian girl who was born in Bethlehem. I was raised in Islam. I loved Islam. I loved my Islamic people. I was very, very faithful in my belief. I believed in Muhammad. I believed in the value that Muhammad taught us. I believed in the Quran. As a young child, I covered my head at the age of 9. I believed in it. I loved it. I loved that my entire people believed the same thing. We were in unity. We believed in loving one another and respecting our father. Our culture and the Islamic belief taught women to work hard and be respectful to their fathers and to their brothers. I did my 5-time prayers. I fasted in Ramadan. I traveled to Mecca and I formed Umrah and I formed Hajj. I read the Quran many, many times. I looked for God in the Quran and I looked for answers. And I found something that it brought unity to my life. I loved Allah and I loved Islam very, very much. I was married for 9 years and I loved my home and I loved my children, but there was emptiness in my heart, and there is a problem that was going on also in the marriage, and I ended up leaving my ex-husband. I found myself homeless on the street because of the decision I made. And I remember walking down the street of the city where I was, and I saw a lady and she had a shop. And I felt so drawn. I felt like someone had a power over me, just wanted me to go inside the store. And I did. I walked into that store. And the moment we entered to the store, she was very loving and very cheerful. And she came up to me and she hugged me. I was so puzzled. I was so worried about what is this woman wanting from me. I never met her. I don't know her name. There is no connection between us at all. I don't know what this lady wants from me. So I kind of was scared a little bit. Should I trust her? Should I talk to her? Maybe this is not a good idea. Maybe I need to leave. But again, I felt so drawn to stay. And I looked her in the face and I said, I'm here. I'm looking for a job. And she said, I know. And I want to give you one. Let's get you started working. What can you do? What kind of jobs can you do? Honestly, I had no skill. The only skill I had is cooking. So I said to her, well, I could cook for you. I could clean for you. And she said, oh, that's great. I need someone to cook for me. I need someone to clean for me. And right there on the spot, she hired me. She paid me a good wages for duties that I formed in her store. We start having a relationship, and that relationship was getting deeper and deeper. There was something about that woman that puzzled me. I couldn't understand, why would she love me? She found out I am homeless, and the minute she did, she moved me into her home. She had 3 boys, and her husband came and moved me and my kids and brought us food and gave us a room in their house. And she didn't charge me rent. She didn't ask me for, anything to do. I worked for her in the store, and she helped me get a place of my own for me and my children. And after a while, I signed up for school, and that relationship continued to grow. And I started asking the question, and she started answering them for me. She started telling me about her belief. And I right away refused. She told me she's a Christian. I said, oh, you're wrong. You're wrong. Muhammad is the truth. The Quran is the truth. Muhammad is the last prophet. She told me God had a son, and I said, oh no, please don't say God had a son. What is wrong with you? How God could have a son? This is unbelievable. You guys are fools. You guys, our Quran says that you guys are going to go to hell for your belief. Your belief is false. We, the true religion, everybody needs to come to Islam, and everybody needs to believe in Muhammad because he's the last prophet. And besides, God couldn't have a son. This doesn't make sense. Our Quran teaches that God is not a weak God, that he needs a son and he needs someone to help him. He could just help himself. He's already established. He's Allah. He has the last prophet. I mean, there is no other say to say. And this lady said to me, it's okay. It's okay to believe that way, but I'd like to share mine with you. Can I share that with you? Can I share my belief? And I start opening up a little bit with her, and I said, yeah, you could tell me more about Jesus. And she started telling me about Jesus. And I'll go back and forth, and I'll ask a question, and I refuse. I said to her, you know, this doesn't make sense. And she always left me with one sentence. She always said to me, it's okay if you don't believe in what I believe. It's not going to change who Jesus is. It just, if you believe, it's going to help you. It's just going to make your life better. I went home and I did my faithful 5 times of prayer, and I read the Quran, and I seeked Allah with all of my heart, and I wanted to be satisfied like her, but I wasn't. So I was wondering, what does she have that I don't? And I start saying, okay, whatever she got, I want some of it. I want some of what that woman had to come to my life, because she seemed like she got it together. And it wasn't because she had money or because she had furniture. She had her faith, and her faith made her very unique person and very helpful to every person that came toward her. Every person that entered her store was greeted with a smile, with a hug, with a kiss. She was a loving, kind woman, and I wanted that. I wanted to stop being bitter. I started thinking about my own feeling, and I found myself being angry with my family. I have unforgiveness. I don't have really love. I really faked it, because when I went home, I always cried, and I always felt lonely, and I felt unsatisfied. But that woman was the opposite from me. She also went home. She also had problems, financial problems, but she always was okay with it. And she faced each day with a new challenge, but with a smile and with her faith. So after 2 years of hanging around this woman, I wanted something like that. I started asking more questions and seeking more ways to find out about her faith. I was hungering for a relationship with God. So I was fasting more now and praying, and that is my Islamic prayer, and I start doing more ruk'ahs and more, beads of prayer, and really asking God to show up. You know, I want you, God, if you are the truth, why won't you come to me and show me that you are the truth? One day I just said it. I said, Jesus, if you're really the Son of God, come down and show me that you are the Son of God, because this doesn't make sense. I was in the store, just minding my own business, working in the back room, and I remember saying to myself, this is just not working. You know, nothing is working right now. I know I'm working, I'm making money, but I'm frustrated and I'm empty, and I don't know what to do next. I don't know where the truth is. I want to know the truth. And I remember something happening in the room where I was, and all of a sudden I look and I see a person like any other person that stands in front of me stood, but it was different from anyone I ever seen. And I looked at it and I said, who are you? And that voice of rushing water, that voice of soothing and coming in the same time, so powerful, I couldn't even describe it in words if I tried, said to me, I am Jesus. I am the Son of God. And I remember being so consumed by it that I fell. I didn't fall in a way that I'm hurt. I just dropped to my knees. And I was looking up at him, and he's just so beautiful. He is so glorious. He's the light. It's like a light inside of a light, an Indian light, an Indian power. And I right away said, Lord, you are the Lord. And he said to me, yes, Khalida, I am Jesus. I am the one you have denied for so many years. I am the one that you said, I'm not the Son of God. I am the Son. I came to save you. I came to take you in my arm and make you a good person, a happy person. And it's by my grace that you are saved. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to form anything. You just have to know that I love you. And I said, that's it? That's all you want me to do? And he said, yes, just believe in me. And within a moment, it seemed like I went to school for years and I studied all the tests and I aced them all in one day. Jesus made sense. All of those doubts that I grew up with in Islam were gone. All my confusion was gone. My heart was so healed. I felt like the pain is leaving me. My heart is no longer full of hate and anger and confusion and unforgiveness from my childhood that I carried as a young girl, being a Palestinian without a land, feeling that I am a victim of every circumstances that ever happened to me. And I found myself saying to Jesus, I need you. I need you to come and help me. I need you to help me walk. I went and I told that friend of mine, I told her, you know, I just received Jesus as my personal savior. And she looked at me and she goes, when did you do that? And I said, just now. And she goes, well, I've been talking to you for years and I didn't know this is happening. And I said, well, I just had an experience in the back. And I told her what happened with me. I felt such a change in my heart. My heart was healed. I wasn't sad anymore. I felt like I'm strong. Now I could face life, and now I could face the challenge that coming before me. There was a freedom that I did not experience in Islam. So that's what Christianity provided into my life. Gave me freedom and gave me love that I was waiting for 29 years before I became a Christian.